Hello everyone, Todd here, and welcome back to another edition of Right Brain Gambling. We're going to do something a little different today, and we're going to be talking about poker presence and chip handling whenever you're playing, in a casino poker game or even at a home friendly poker game. Because I think that poker is a lot more about your bodily presence and your subtle cues of the way that you elicit either strength or weakness. It's illustrated very well by Sun Tzu in The Art of War about words of wisdom like when you're weak appear strong, when you're strong appear weak. And there's a lot of things that you can do to communicate with your opponents without them even knowing it. But the step one to all this is the way that you're going to stack your chips. Okay, so of course, whenever you buy into a poker game, you have your chips, and you got to know how to stack them. But especially after you win a big hand, like say, this is how it would look after you win a big hand. And so what you do is you reel them in with both hands, and you use your right hand if you're right-handed, your left-handed if you're left-handed, to stack them. And I take the small ones first. I always stack the small ones first because the small I like to consider sort of like your reinforcements. It's almost like they're like pawns in a chess game. Your small chips. And so I do that with my right hand, and I do as much as I can in my right hand. And I take the rest of them, stack them. And you see I'm just grabbing my small chips. And these are going to act, this is what I consider to be like the tower of protection, like say in a medieval fort or something, because this guards me, this is my outermost layer. This is the one closest to me, because the smalls I'm probably going to be using most, because I'm going to be throwing in antes and big blinds. So I pile those up as much as, as high as I can make them. Then I take the next biggest chip, my 5 chips. I stack them. And look, I had a lot of 5. I won a lot of 5 in this last hand. So that is really going to look intimidating to an opponent when you have this big stack of larger chips. And you put that up in front of your smaller chips. And finally, I top it off with my biggest chips, my 10s. These are my big chips. And maybe, if I have a lot, I'll even put it on top, like this. And when it's almost like a test. It's a test of vertical will, because the size of your tower is, it's going to be more intimidating to any opponent. Like, imagine looking across and the guy has this many 10 chips. You're probably not going to want to go into a hand or bet that guy too much. So chip management is important. The next part of poker presence is your body language. And what I like to do when I get into a hand, let's say I throw in my big blinds or something, or I buy into the hand, I just fling my ones out there, and then I put my elbows up, almost very vertical again, much like the towers, the towers of my chips. And then I just rest my hands back like this. And this is a very interesting position. I've seen Phil Hellmuth use this. It's what it does is it's both confident and vulnerable, and you need both of those aspects if you're going to be in a poker hand, because you never know when you're going to want to look strong or when you're going to look weak, or let's say I want to bluff somebody. Let's say I'm really weak, and I take my big chips. I can easily reach, you notice, from this position, and I just fling them out, and I go back, and I sit like this. And it's almost impossible for you to tell if I'm weak or if I'm strong. And if I'm bluffing somebody, they're going to be very intimidated by that. And if I really want, I can just take my hand like that and move it out, you know, move all in. If I go all in, sometimes I use both my hands. Okay, so that is another part of poker presence. Another part that I've talked about in my other videos is the use of sunglasses, which I find to be very, very helpful in your poker presence, because when I put these on, you know, you can't. It's very. And then I go into my position. You know, I'm in a hand. You know, would you want to? It's like people don't. It tends to scare people, especially when you wear big sunglasses like these. And I use these also because I'm wearing my regular glasses, but these kind of glasses could fit over my regular glasses, and I can, you know, and sometimes I can even grin at them, and it makes them even more intimidated. So I just wanted to give you guys some basic pointers on how to on poker presence and things like that. You know, I've got my tea here that I can drink, which is what I do in my downtime when I'm not in a hand. I like to have my tea. I also have my fish oils that I eat throughout the day or throughout a session. You know, if I have a bite to eat, I usually down these fish oils with my food. So, okay, that was all I wanted to do today. We're going to be back in a little short while. I've got a very special episode on the next Right Brain Gambling. So I hope you subscribe to my videos, and I hope you enjoyed it, and happy gambling, everyone. Okay, bye-bye.